Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the next session of our subject, that is concrete technology. From today, we are going to start our section 2 of this particular subject, and we are going to start our chapter number 5, unit number 5, that is regarding the creep and the shrinkage. So, dear students, during the session, if I get disconnected due to unstable internet connection, or maybe if my voice is not audible to you, it is not reached to you, so please let me know about it. You can put it in the chat box also. So we are going to start our chapter number 5. If you see, chapter number 5 is very short chapter we are having. Just introduction regarding what is the creep, what is the shrinkage, what are the different types of the creep and shrinkage. Okay, and which factors we need to consider as far as creep or shrinkage is considered. Okay, so these points we are going to discuss as far as our chapter number 5 is considered. Okay, so during the chapter number 5, like, okay, sorry for the disturbance caused. So we are going to start these two things to learn, that is what is a creep and what is the shrinkage. Okay, so I think we just require this lecture, this session, and maybe in next session we will take further more part. It's very short unit we are having, so that we are going to complete this in today's session, or maybe we will take next session also. Okay, so let's begin the session without wasting further more time. Um, So basically, we are going to start by knowing what is meant by the word creep at first. Okay, what is creep? How it is going to be formed in the construction sector? That part we are going to discuss at first. Okay. So we are going to start this now. What is the creep? At first, we must understand what is the creep. Okay. So how can you come to know what is the creep, or how it has been introduced in a concrete body? To be So in case of our construction, everyone knows our structure is having some durability. Correct? Our structure is having some durability. It may last long for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, whatever it may be. You have made your structure having some strength and having some durability. Okay. But during this particular phase, okay, during this particular phase, there is a continuous load which is acting on particular on your concrete structure. Definitely, there is a continuous load which is acting. Maybe you are using the tiles, you are using your floor area, correct? So on the floor area, your self weight is going to apply. If you are standing on the roof, if you are standing on the roof, so again, self weight of your body is acting some load, okay, on that particular roof area. Maybe the self weight of the concrete body itself. Some vehicles you have parked in your compound area. So in the compound area, the vehicle is going to apply some kind of load. Correct. So our concrete structure, whatever the concrete structure it may be, listen it very carefully for understanding purpose. Whatever the concrete structure that we have, it is been subjected to any kind of load. It is subjected to any kind of load. Okay, in most of the times. If there is no load, definitely the self weight we have to consider. Okay, self weight is acting on that particular board, concrete structure. So what is going to happen in that particular concrete structure? Due to this action of the load, different loads. It may be evenly distributed load, it may be uniformly varying load, or it may be any kind of load. Due to this action of the load, there is some deformation of your structure. There is some deformation of your structure. Now, what type of deformation is going to, you can see. So deformation is nothing but maybe the dismantling of the structure, or maybe some deterioration of that particular structure. Deterioration म्हणजे काय, तुमच्या त्या घराची किंवा तुम्ही जे काही स्ट्रक्चर बिल्टअप केलंय त्याची झीज होते, त्यामध्ये काहीतरी हानी होते. ठीक आहे, कुठेतरी क्रॅक जायला सुरुवात पडते, कुठेतरी प्लास्टरचं पोर्शन ओपन अप होतोय, कुठेतरी तुम्हाला बीम कॉलम जॉईंट वरती क्रॅक बघायला मिळतोय. ठीक आहे, सो सच टाइप ऑफ डिटोरिएशन मे बी देयर. मे बी कॉन्क्रीट इज डायरेक्टली एक्सपोज होतंय आणि कॉम्बिंग दिसतंय तुम्हाला. ठीक आहे, फॉल्ट प्रॅक्टिस केली असेल तर. Otherwise, some kind of deterioration or deformation you are going to see. Some kind of deterioration or deformation you are going to see. And that deformation, okay, that deformation due to that continuous action of the load, okay, that deformation with respect to the uniformly varying load and with respect to the continuous time. So whatever this deformation is going to occur, that deformation you called it as a creep. Okay, that is nothing but the creep. To understand, very simple. What is creep? Creep is defined as the deformation which is going to occur in the concrete structure. What is creep? Again, I will repeat it for you. What is creep? It is nothing but the deformation which is going to occur in a concrete structure due to sustained load with respect to uniformly varying load or with a constant time. Okay, as the age of the concrete, with respect to the age of the concrete, maybe your concrete is 28 days old. Your concrete structure, जे काही तुम्ही घर बांधले, 3 महिने जुनं झाले, 6 महिने जुनं झाले, 1 वर्ष जुनं झाले, 10 वर्ष जुनं झाले, 20 वर्ष जुनं झाले. जसजसं त्या कॉन्क्रीटचं एज होत आहे, ठीक आहे, जसजसं तुमच्या कॉन्क्रीटचं एज होत आहे, डेफिनेटली अलॉंग विथ द एज देयर इज सम डिफॉर्मेशन विच इज गोइंग टू हॅपन इन द कॉन्क्रीट बॉडी. आता हे डिफॉर्मेशन अजून कसं सिंपल लक्षात ठेवायचंय, यू जस्ट टेक एक्झाम्पल ऑफ आवर्स, दॅट इज ह्युमन बिंग्स. ठीक आहे, इफ यू आर 20 years old or maybe you are a teenager, ओके, तुमची इम्युनिटी पॉवर खूप चांगली राहते. ठीक आहे, 20 to 30 years, ठीक आहे, खूप चांगली इम्युनिटी बॉडी. 30 नंतर तुमचं बोन डेन्सिटी कमी व्हायला सुरुवात होऊ शकते कदाचित, इफ यू आर नॉट रेग्युलरली एक्सरसाइजिंग. ठीक आहे, 40 years केस पांढरे झालेले आहेत सर. ठीक आहे, आणि आता इतकी इम्युनिटी राहिलेली नाही, चालल्यानंतर धाप लागते 50व्या वर्षी, 60व्या वर्षी, बीपी, शुगर अँड ऑल दॅट, जेवढे काय आहेत आपल्याकडे डिसीजेस. ठीक आहे, काय होतं रे तुमच्या बॉडीचं विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू दी एज, इफ यू आर नॉट not going to take care of your body, if you are not going to maintain your body, okay, you are not going to maintain the fitness of your body, what will happen? It will start deteriorating your body. Correct? It will start, there is a deformation which is going to happen in your body. So as like on the similar platform, on the same platform, our concrete structures are also being exposed to the deformation. Okay, what is deformation? Is nothing but the dismantling or deterioration of the structure. How it is going to happen? It is going to happen with respect to the age and with respect to the load which is acting on it. Okay, it may be the self load, it may be the any live load, it may be the wind load, any type of loading. So there is a continuous load which is acting on your concrete structure, and due to this, there is a deformation of that particular concrete structure with respect to the time, and that deformation you called it as a creep. Okay, and always remember, creep is a time dependent deformation. It is the time dependent because, as I told you, with respect to the age, okay, the creep is going to get going to happen in your concrete body. Okay, so for how much time, sir, this creep is going to last long? So it may happen that for a concrete structure, the creep may last long up to 100 years also. जर तुम्ही तुमचं स्ट्रक्चर 100 वर्षासाठी डिझाईन केलेलं आहे, ठीक आहे, तर अगदी 100व्या वर्षापर्यंत त्याच्यामध्ये क्रीप ऑकर होऊ शकतो. त्याच्यामध्ये क्रीप ऑकर होऊ शकतो. जर तुमचं स्ट्रक्चर 50 वर्षासाठी तुम्ही डिझाईन करताय, आता जर तुम्ही मार्केट ट्रेंड पाहताल, इफ यू जस्ट सी द मार्केट ट्रेंड, whatever the deformation is going to happen, this deformation is sorry, the design of the building is for 50 to 75 years. Okay, so the creep will also last long for 50 to 75 years, and then at one point is there where this creep is get reversed. मग तो creep कमी व्हायला सुरुवात होते. creep म्हणजेच काय? Again, please remember, it is nothing but the type of, or it's a deformation which is going to happen in your concrete body with respect to the varying loading conditions, with respect to the load which is acting, and with respect to the time, with respect to the age of your concrete. Okay. So when a concrete body is subjected to compressive loading, it deforms instantaneously. Okay. This immediate deformation is called as the instantaneous strain, or it is nothing but a continuous strain, immediate strain, you can call it as. And if the load is maintained for a considerable period of time, the concrete undergoes additional deformation without any increase in the load. Okay. And this time dependent strain is called as the creep. Okay. Is called as the creep. Again, please understand if you are not getting. It is nothing but the deformation which is going to happen in the body. This is the time dependent deformation. Definitely, in competitive exams also, they may ask you such question. Creep is directly proportional to the time or indirectly proportional to the time. Or creep is whether dependent of the time or dependent of age of concrete, or it is independent of age of concrete. So definitely creep is dependent of your age of the concrete. Okay. As the age of the concrete proceeds, there is a deformation, continuous deformation is going to happen in your concrete body, and that is nothing but your creep. Okay. That is nothing but your creep. Whether you are going to increase the load, no, it is the same load which is acting for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, but still there is a deformation, and that deformation is nothing but your creep. Have you understood the definition? Everyone understand? Hmm?
Yes,
Others,
sir.
please do respond.
Yes.
Okay, good. From boys, to whom I
Yes,
will
sir.
ask,
Yes, sir.
maybe Dnyaneshwar will respond me. Dnyaneshwar Shelke, Agar Khed, Aditya. Okay, so this is about the definition of the creep. Okay, now I will show you some pictures how the creep is there. Okay, are you going to see this picture? Okay, I will use the pointer for your understanding. See the first picture. Okay, on the right hand side, the pointer which I'm scrolling. See the floors, how it is there. Okay, there are some cracks which are being developed. Correct? These are the some cracks. Or here also you can see these are the cracks which are developed. This is one type of deformation. You just see this brickwork, whether it is in straight line, the upper portion and the lower portion. You just see this. See the cracks which are being developed. So these are nothing but the deformation which is going to happen. Okay, I will take the next picture also. See another picture you can see. This is the curve of your roads. Okay, I think all of you have the geometric design of the roads, and in that you have studied this particular part, curve. Okay, so here also you can see this particular portion. It is been dismantled completely. It gets deteriorated completely. Again, these cracks are there on the wall. Okay, see the cracks which are being developed. Okay, so some pictures I have shown you, which will give you some idea how the crypt looks like. Okay, तुम्ही इवन तुमच्या घरामध्ये बघा. ठीक आहे, तुमच्या घरामध्ये तुम्हाला कुठे क्रॅक पडलेले दिसतात. ठीक आहे, हे क्रॅक्स कशामुळे झालेले आहेत रे? इफ इट इज ऍट द इनिशियल स्टेज आफ्टर युअर कन्स्ट्रक्शन. ठीक आहे, कन्स्ट्रक्शन केल्यानंतर अगदी 1 महिन्यात जर क्रॅक बघायला दिसले, याचा अर्थ काय झालेला आहे? यू हॅव डन सम फॉल्टी प्रॅक्टिस. ओके, you have not executed your concrete structure work correctly. You have done some mistake in that. But if you are going to see some cracks after maybe passing of 10 years or 20 years, okay, then you can yes suggest, sir, maybe there is some kind of deformation which is going to occur. Now in this classroom also, there are some minute cracks, minute I'm telling, okay, which you can see, and which are being developed. Okay, now our college structure, this building is more than 22 years old. Okay, it is more than 22 years old. So you can see some minute cracks are there, which are some of them are visible, some of them are not visible to the naked eyes. So you can call this as a creep which was going to happen. Okay, the deformation due to the loading, continuous loading, there is a deformation of the structure. Or at your home also, you can see some cracks are there. Okay, पण लक्षात ठेवायचं 6 महिने झालेत घर घेऊन, तर 6च महिन्यात सर क्रॅक दिसायला लागले, याचा अर्थ ते काय झाले रे? You have done some fault practice, or your contractor developer has done some fault practice during the execution. Okay, कमीत कमी 6 महिन्यात तर काहीच व्हायला नका at least. ठीक आहे. So that is all about the creep. Now we will going to discuss which factors are going to affect, okay, or which factors we need to consider for this particular creep. One by one, we will discuss. First factor is nothing but your concrete mix proportion. Second factor, aggregate properties. Third one, age at loading. Okay, you can copy it in your notebook because this is very smallest chapter of your whole syllabus, entire syllabus, and only fixed questions are there. Which factors are going to affect the creep, and what is meant by the word creep? Then what is meant by the word shrinkage, and what are the different types of shrinkage? Okay, only 4 questions will be there on this particular part. So factors, after age of loading, then curing conditions, there is another factor. Then cement properties, temperature, stress level. Okay, so these are the few factors which are going to affect the creep, which will play a vital role in the formation of the creep in the concrete body. Okay, these factors we need to consider, which will play a vital role during the formation of the creep. Okay, so let us discuss each factor in detail one by one. First, we will take concrete mix proportion. Okay, so in the concrete mix proportion, the amount of the paste contained, the paste is nothing but mixture of your cement, coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, and the water. Okay, the amount of paste contained and its quality is one of the important factor which influence the creep. Just a minute. Yes. So a poorer paste structure undergoes higher creep, while a very good paste structure, that is the concrete matrix, if you have, it will not take to the higher creep. Okay. So creep increases with increase in your water cement ratio. Okay. Again, just take this part into our consideration. Water is to cement ratio. Every time, I think in every unit, at least more than 10 times, I am repeating this particular word. Water is to cement ratio. Why it is important for us to have the knowledge of it? Because in your concrete, whatever the things which are going to happen, it may be the segregation, it may be the bleeding, it may be the creep, it may be the shrinkage, it may be any fault, or it may be any fault or deformation of the concrete. Okay, water cement ratio always play an important role. Okay, if you are not going to take this water cement ratio in exact quantity, or you are not going to take it with respect to our design, then definitely your concrete is going to exposed with the some faults, like your segregation is there, bleeding is there, the creep, shrinkage, everything is going to happen. Okay, that is why water is to cement ratio we need to consider on the priority basis as far as our mixed design is considered. And as I told you, take the minimum water cement ratio as recommended in our Indian standard course, or as you have designed it. Okay, if you are using some admixtures, maybe plasticizer or super plasticizer, you can reduce the quantity of the water content by 20 to 30%. It depends on the type of admixture that you are using, or the type of plasticizer or super plasticizer that you are using. Okay, because admixtures are having the different role. So you can curtail down the water is to cement ratio. Okay, it should not be like that. Sir, आम्हाला कॉन्क्रीट कास्ट करायचं आहे, छानपैकी 1 मीटर क्यूब कॉन्क्रीट कास्ट करायचे, किंवा एक साधं अर्धा ब्रास म्हणा, किंवा एक हाफ मीटर क्यूब म्हणा, तुम्हाला कॉन्क्रीट कास्ट करायचं आहे, आणि त्या कॉन्क्रिटिंगसाठी एक बॅग सिमेंट घेतली आणि तुम्ही त्याच्यामध्ये 25 ते 28 लिटर पाणी टाकलंय, त्यापेक्षा जास्त, 25 लिटर पेक्षा जास्त, म्हणजे तुमचा वॉटर इज टू सिमेंट रेशो मोर दॅन 0.5 घेत आहे. ठीक आहे, जर तुम्ही असं जर कॉन्क्रिटिंग करायला लागले, that concrete becomes highly workable. Okay, you have to check for which portion you are going to use that concrete. Maybe for heavily reinforced structure, maybe for your lightly reinforced structures. For which structures you are going to use it. Okay, and then you can decide the required water is to cement ratio. Okay, so for design purpose, And as I told you in my previous session also, this part, water is to cement ratio. Again, this part plays vital role in your chapter number 6 also. That is regarding the durability. Okay. Then in chapter number 7, that is concrete mix design. Okay. It is not possible for you to prepare a concrete mix design without considering the water is to cement ratio. So everywhere we require this concept, water is to cement ratio, and keep the water is to cement ratio as minimum as possible based on the design that you have, based on the design that you have prepared, or the table that is the minimum water to cement ratio which has been given in your IS 456 2000 table number 5. Okay, so with respect to that also you can restrict your water is to cement ratio content. Okay. Now, how it is going to affect your concrete mix proportion, how it is going to affect the creep. That is coming back to the point. कसं affect करणार आहे तुमचं mix proportion. See, if you are going to take the faulty mix proportion design or improper proportion of your concrete ingredients, what will happen? The structure is not durable. Maybe you have used excess cement, which cause early cracks in the concrete. Again, I am repeating my same instructions. Though you have cement in abundant quantity, okay, तुमच्याकडे जरी पुष्कळचं सिमेंट आहे, सर आमची फॅक्टरी आहे, अल्ट्राटेकची आमच्याकडे एजन्सी आहे, ठीक आहे, तरी पण सिमेंट हे मिनिमम सिमेंट कंटेंट आणि मॅक्सिमम सिमेंट कंटेंट यामध्येच तुम्हाला ती यूज करायचं, जो आपला IS 456 2000 मध्ये टेबल नंबर 5 जो मेन्शन केलेला आहे, ज्यामध्ये तुम्हाला मॅक्सिमम वॉटर इज टू सिमेंट रेशो आणि मिनिमम सिमेंट कंटेंट with respect to the different grades of the concrete ह्याच्या व्हॅल्यूज दिलेल्या आहेत. ठीक आहे. आय थिंक इन माय प्रिव्हियस सेशन आय हॅव शोन इट टू यू. करेक्ट आहे? टेबल नंबर 5 shown it to you, or shall I repeat it once again? So that quantity of the cement, minimum quantity of the cement and maximum water cement ratio you have to take. Okay, based on your design, whichever you have prepared. Without if you are going to cross that limits of minimum and maximum water cement ratio, or maybe minimum cement content, then definitely it will affect the strength and durability of your concrete. So mixed proportion, again, it plays a vital role. Okay, just a minute, please. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. So the point that we are discussing is the concrete mix proportion. Okay, the proportion of cement is to sand is to coarse aggregate. The proportion of cement is to sand is to coarse aggregate. It plays a vital role in case of the formation of the whatever the creep which is going to happen. Okay, if you take it in a wrong proportion, if you take it in a wrong proportion, then definitely uh, you are giving some support to increase the creep in the concrete structure. Okay, ultimately you are just try to responsible for increasing the creep which is going to happen in the concrete body. Okay, so take your mixed proportion as per your design. Okay, whatever the mixed proportion you are having, cement, one part of cement, two part of sand, four parts of coarse aggregate, or maybe one part of cement, 1.3 parts of sand, 2.6 parts of coarse aggregate. Whatever the design you have prepared, accordingly you have to take the mixed proportions. Okay, because if you do some uh, what can I say? If you take it wrongly, then it may lead to happen of the creep in the concrete body. Okay, and creep, though it if you just see the definition, I think you all are aware now, it is one kind of deformation. Okay, it is one kind of deformation due to the loading. So if you take all your ingredients wrongly, then it leads to increase that deformation very early at the earlier stage. ठीक आहे, यामुळे तुमचे जे घरं असतात ना, ही घरं खूप लवकर, आता जर तुम्ही सध्याचं चित्र पाहताल मार्केटमध्ये, डिझाईन करतो आपण 50 इयर्स साठी. Actually, it was 75 years, but if we are designing it for at least 50 years. And you tell me, खरंच तुमची जी घरं आहेत ती 50 वर्ष राहतात का चांगल्या सध्या त्या स्थितीमध्ये, आहे त्या स्थितीमध्ये? जर तुम्ही सध्याचं जर चित्र बघताल, डेफिनेटली नॉट. After a year, just passing a single year, you are going to see some minute cracks which are going to start on your wall. Okay, maybe the plastering is get exposed or it has been opened. Maybe some cracks are developed at the junction points of the structural elements. Okay, दार जे असतं, एक पाऊस झाला की तुमचं दार घसरणं असं म्हणतात. ठीक आहे, उतरतं. कसं उतरतं म्हणजे काय होतं रे, व्हॉट एव्हर द फिक्स व्हॉट एव्हर द सपोर्ट दॅट यू आर युझिंग, ते जो हिंज सपोर्ट असतो. ओके, तो हिंज सपोर्ट जो आहे तो स्लिप होत होतो. ठीक आहे, तुम्ही म्हणता दार उतरणं असं आपल्या मराठीमध्ये एक फ्रेज तुम्ही युज करता. ठीक आहे, पावसाळ्यामध्ये बेसिकली पावसाळा झाल्यानंतर ही शब्दप्रयोग तुम्ही वापरता. काय होतं, दार जे असतं, जी तुमची फ्रेम आहे डोअरची, त्या फ्रेम मध्ये ते प्रॉपरली फिक्स होत नाहीये. ठीक आहे, दरवाजा बसत नाही तुमचा, कुठेतरी त्याला हलवावं लागतं, थोडस काहीतरी फोर्स अप्लाय करावा लागतो. कशामुळे होतं रे हे? You have designed it very nicely, you have executed that door framework very nicely. ठीक आहे, चांगला प्रतिष्ठित असा कार्पेंटर तुम्ही आणला होता, ते दार तुम्ही बसवलेलं एवढे छान. मग असं कशामुळे होतं? सी, environment also going to make big impact on your concrete, on your structure, concrete structure. Okay, दार उतरणं म्हणजे काय? There is impact of the environment, water is there, moisture content is there, which will affect that particular door frame. Okay, if you are not going to execute it properly. जुन्या काळात तुम्ही बघितले असेल, नवीन मध्ये अल्युमिनियम सॉरी फ्लश डोर्स जास्त प्रमाणात यूज करतात. अँड व्हेरी गुड. ठीक आहे. हा, regarding the door, I just remember one question I will definitely share with you, though it is not related to our topic. uh, my experience, in one of my interview, that interviewer has asked me, can you give me the example of hinge support in this particular room? In that interview where it was held, he just asked me a very simple question, can you give me the example of hinge support in this room? So where is the hinge support being provided in the room? Now can you tell me, by sitting at your home, now you are sitting at your home, can you tell me the example of hinge support? Or the students which are sitting here, can you tell me the example of hinge support? Just by looking at the door, I remember this question every time. Say, I have given you hint. Huh?
Door fastenings.
Are you getting? See, logic should be there. Huh? You must be technically sound, no doubt. You are having 9.9 CGPA, sir, in the first semester, in the second semester. Okay. Maybe due to the online mode, or maybe you have worked very hard. But to apply that logic, in practical field is very important thing. You just take example. I have given you very simple clue. Just looking at the door, I always remember this question. So I think everybody has looked at the door at your home, maybe where you are seated now. Okay, you can see that hinges are there, correct? To which part door is been fixed to that door frame? Hinge support is there. Okay, ज्याला बिजागरी तुम्ही असं म्हणता मराठीमध्ये आपल्या बिजागरी आपण म्हणतो ना, ठीक आहे. That is nothing but example of hinge support. Okay, this is the question looks very simple, huh? Hinge support example. Okay, but at that time you are get blocked. Okay, so you have to use such logic whenever you are going to face any interview or maybe in your competitive exams also. So such examples, whenever I get the chance, I will share with everyone. The best example, your door is there. Okay, to the door you can see the hinge supports are there. Okay, that hinges are been fixed in that frame, window frame. Okay, during its execution work. Okay, huh? If it is like that, paneled. If it is paneled window, then you can give it the example. Okay.
शटरला हे सपोर्टिंग असते ना सर
Otherwise,
हिंज
door is the best example that you can give. So I hope now no one will forget this example of hinge support if somebody asks you. Okay. Whether it is regarding whether it is been mentioned in any of the syllabus, sir, example of hinge support is there, door fixing is there. No, nothing is there. But you have to use the logic. Okay, you have to observe the things very carefully, and that is what they are going to analyze at the time of interviews also. I will take your time, little time for this. I will share some of my experiences also with this. But such things you need to require, you need to acquire during this 3 years of your graduation. Okay, I'm telling 3 years because already you are directly deploying to the second year. Because what we are observing nowadays, students, you all are getting very nice percentage or CGPA, 8.5, sir, 9.9, 9.99. Likewise, CGPA is there or AGPA is there. Okay, 10, sir, 10 pointer I am having, maybe 9.5 pointer I am having. But if we are going to ask them some very simple basic questions, okay, they are not able to answer it. Why? Focus should be on the basics at first. You should be strong enough in your mathematical subjects. Your all basics should be very much clear. If you remember yesterday, I have shown you that stress strain curve. Okay, that is in your introduction to solid mechanics. Now, how come I to know, how come know that about that stress strain curve? In 2000, maybe in 2009, I got that concept when I was in second year. Okay, and almost more than 10 years it was passed, but still it is the part which is required to you every day, because during the consultancy I will show the students how the pen cone shape is going to be formed. Okay, where is the limit of proportionality, where is your yield load, where is your breaking load, where is your ultimate load, where is your breaking load. So all these parts we are going to discuss in detail. Okay, what is meant by the word shear? What is meant by the word shear? What is meant by the word flexure? Now in chapter number 4, you have discussed that flexure. If I'm going to ask you right now, what is meant by the word flexure? Okay, do you remember that part? Do you remember the definition? What is the flexure? Only the meaning of that word, flexure. Flexure is rupture. What is flexure? So things are going to like this. Okay, I have shown you the diagram, how the beam bends. It is going to bend down, correct? Due to the application of the load, there is some deflection. Okay, and there is bending. It may be the some kind of movement is going to happen, maybe the sagging movement or maybe the hogging movement, correct? Sagging and hogging, positive and negative. It is up to you how you are going to take it due to the application of the load. So flexure, very simple concept, but you have to use it. Now, again, another example I will give you. What is meant by the word cantilever support? A simply supported beam and a cantilever portion. What is meant by the word cantilever?
One supported, sir, beam.
One end
Another
is free and
supported.
other end is fixed. Okay.
Free.
Chalo. So such things you must be aware about. Okay. Water is to cement ratio. Why it is important for us? In case of cement, why consistency is the most important thing? Because through that test only you will come to know what will be the exact amount of water that is required to make a good cement paste. Okay. So likewise, during the discussion, we will have some discussion about such questions also. I'm happy that somebody has responded it in the chat box correctly. Okay. So coming back to our point of discussion, concrete mix proportion, how it affects your grip. If you take that all the mixed ingredients in a wrong proportion, if you take that all mixed ingredients in the wrong proportion, it will lead to increase the creep, whatever the creep which is going to happen. It will increase the quantity of the creep which is going to happen. See, creep is not like that you are going to see every day. Sir, आज इथं कुठतरी creep होताना दिसतंय मला, काहीतरी deformation होताना दिसतंय. Whether it is visible to you, definitely not. Okay, it's a continuous process. Always remember, it's a continuous process going to happen in the concrete body itself, and you are going to see the effects of that creep or effects of the deformation as with respect to the age of that concrete body. Okay, with respect to the age of that concrete body. Maybe after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, 10 years, it has completed. You can see some cracks are there, or maybe some rough patching is there. You are going to see some color. This color has been distracted from the wall surface. Okay, so such things are going to happen. But it is with respect to age. It is not like that in single 24 hours, sir, it's a crack मोठा दिसला, एवढं मोठं creep झालंय. It is not the creep. It is something different from that. It is the deformation, but different from the creep. Okay, so always remember, you need to consider the exact quantity of your concrete mix proportion, which may lead to happen the creep. Okay. Next important point, creep is inversely proportional to the strength of your concrete. What is this word? Inversely proportional means what is going to happen? Inversely proportional म्हणजे काय रे?
उलटा.
Creep is inversely proportional to the strength of concrete. या शब्दाचा अर्थ काय सांगता येईल? Inversely, not directly proportional. Inversely proportional means what? If as the age of the concrete proceeds, definitely creep quantity also, whatever the creep is going to happen, it also goes on increasing. Okay. And if the creep is going to goes on increasing, it will reduce the strength of the concrete on the same hand, on the same platform. जर क्रीप वाढलं तर स्ट्रेंथ कमी होणार आहे. जर स्ट्रेंथ जास्त आहे तर डेफिनेटली क्रीप तिथे कमी ऑकर होणार. दॅट इज वाय दीज आर इनव्हर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू इच अदर. इफ समथिंग गोज ऑन इन्क्रीजिंग, other thing goes on decreasing. ठीक है. If creep goes on increasing very rapidly within short time, that means the strength of your concrete structure goes on reducing on that same percentage. If strength of the concrete is very good, then definitely creep which is going to happen in your concrete body, it is again on the lower side comparatively. Okay, that is why these two things are inversely proportional to each other. If strength is very good, we can predict that creep is very short on the shorter side. If creep is more, that means there is more deformation of the structure, and if there is more deformation, that means the strength of the structure goes on reducing. Understood how it is relating with each other? So creep of the concrete, creep which is going to happen in the concrete body, is inversely proportional to the strength of the concrete. Is inversely proportional to the strength of the concrete. Okay. Other factors which are affecting the water cement ratio are also affecting the creep. Okay. The diagram is there for you. Every day you are going to prepare such concrete using water, cement, and your aggregates. Okay, maybe your sand, maybe your coarse aggregates. Okay, so whatever the concrete that you are going to prepare, if you are not going to take these ingredients in a proper proportion, it will lead to the creep. Okay. Then second factor. Now after the concrete mix proportion, let us discuss the second factor, aggregate properties. Now, what are the different properties of the aggregates? You have understand till this time. कुठल्या कुठल्या प्रॉपर्टीज माहिती आहेत तुम्हाला ऍग्रीगेटच्या? फिजिकल आणि मेकॅनिकल दोन्ही सांगा मला. Which properties you all are aware about?
Specific gravity.
Aggregate properties. Which properties you are familiar with?
Sir, the
We have
absorption
discussed all the properties in detail. I have shown you some sample videos of the practicals also. And still, if your response is like this, flakiness index, very good. Elongation index, very good. Next,
Specific
water
gravity.
absorption, sir.
Bulk
shape and size, that is
density.
shape test. Okay, very good. Next, physical property.
Water absorption.
Aggregate properties I want. And please do respond very fast, participants. I will take few names. Mayur, Kiran Satpute will tell me one of the property. Vijay Rathod, Ganesh Wagmare, Dharmaji Devmare, then Manjunath Guttedar, Ajit Devmare. Respond. Suprabha Badbe, then Sharda Dubal, Rutuja Gauli, Prachi More, Smita Pandit. Which physical properties we have studied about the aggregates? It may be the coarse or it may be the fine aggregates. Some physical and some mechanical properties we have studied previously. Texture of the body. Okay, chalo, one property. Shape, size, texture. Okay. Somebody has responded very nicely. I will take his or her name maybe. Who is that? Umbraje. Okay. Bulk density, then water absorption, specific gravity, elongation index. Okay. Shape and size, porosity, very good. Texture, very good. Water absorption. Okay. Thank you for the response. So these properties already we have discussed. Okay. So all these properties will definitely influence the creep. These are somewhat responsible for happening of the creep. Okay. How it is going to happen? How these are responsible? Maybe the texture. If you just take one example of the one of the property into our consideration, maybe the shape and size. If more flaky particles are present, if more elongated particles are present in your concrete body, then it may lead to the earlier deformation, because that flaky and elongated particles, they are going to reduce the strength of the concrete miserably. Okay. So maybe the flaky particles, maybe the elongated particles which are present, maybe the shape, size and texture. ठीक आहे सर, 1 इंची कडी सांगितली होती आम्हाला वापरण्यासाठी. आम्ही 35 mm चा बोल्डर यूज केला, किंवा त्या 1 mm जी 1 इंचीची खडी आहे त्यामध्ये मोर दॅन 50% आर फ्लॅकी अँड elongated particles. ठीक आहे. Maybe that particles or that aggregates are having very low specific gravity. Maybe that these aggregates are going to absorb more than 2% of the water. More than 2% of the water. That aggregates are going to absorb more moisture from the atmosphere. These aggregates are rounded aggregates. गुळगुळीत जे नदीकाठचे जे दगड तुम्ही बघितले गुळगुळीत दगड असतात. ठीक आहे, rounded aggregates. Whether these are suitable to use in the construction sector? Definitely no. We should have angular crust aggregates having some specific shape and size. Okay. So all these properties, maybe the water absorption, maybe the moisture absorption, maybe the shape, size and texture of your cool aggregate particles, maybe their grading. If these are not in our permissible limits, okay, then definitely they will support to increase the creep. They will support to increase the creep. That is why we need to consider all the aggregate properties also. We have to check before using whatever the aggregates we are going to use. It may be your coarse aggregate, it may be your fine aggregate. Whichever the aggregates we are going to use, we need to consider their physical properties. Okay. Mechanical properties also we are going to consider, like its toughness, then hardness, crushing strength of that coarse aggregate, then abrasion strength of that coarse aggregate. Everything we need to consider. What is mentioned in this particular point? Aggregate undergoes very little creep. As we know, our aggregates are tough enough to sustain the load. Their basic role is to sustain the load. बरोबर आहे. खडी का वापरतात रे कॉन्क्रीट मध्ये? Why we are using coarse aggregates? समाधान. Why we are using coarse aggregates in our concrete? What is the role of cement? To bind the material together. Role of fine aggregate, it's a filling material, correct? What is the role of coarse aggregate? Coarse aggregate basically we are using to impart the strength to the given concrete. Okay, to impart the strength to the given concrete. त्या concrete ला strength देण्याचं काम कोण करतंय? तर खडी करतात. So as our aggregates are tough enough to sustain the load, so these aggregates undergo very little creep. It is really the pest that is your rest matrix, like cement, fine aggregate, and water. This pest, this is the pest which is responsible for the creep. Aggregates influence creep of the concrete through the restraining effect of the magnitude of this particular creep. So our coarse aggregates are not very much responsible, I can say, for happening of the creep, because they are tough enough to sustain the load. Their load carrying capacity is very good. Their basic role is to impart the strength. Okay, so that is why they may face very little creep. Okay, but the rest matrix of your concrete, that is your mixture of cement, fine aggregate, and water, this is the pest which is responsible for the creep. Okay, as far as our aggregates are considered. The higher the modulus of elasticity, the less is the creep. Everyone knows, I think, what is the modulus of elasticity of the concrete? काल शिकवले, विसरले नाही पाहिजे. What is the modulus of elasticity of concrete? What is modulus of elasticity of concrete? Either you are not studying or you are not getting whatever I am teaching. What is the reason? Students who are present here. What is the reason? Are you getting whatever I am teaching? Definitely? Sure? Okay. Then I think probably the second reason. Okay. You are not studying. Compressive strength per unit. What is modulus of elasticity? Yes. Stress against strain, ratio of the stress against strain. Okay. Somebody has responded. Thank you, that person who has responded something. Okay. See, you are going to draw that stress strain curve, and you are going to take two values, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Okay. In case of steel, we are discussing. Okay. In case of your concrete, you are having that formula. Static modulus of elasticity EC equals to 5000 under root of FCK. Yesterday only we have discussed that particular formula. Only yesterday, I think, not more than 24 hours. Still you have forgotten. Dear students, don't do like this. Please study. First week of April, you are going to face your examination. Right now, I don't know whether it will be online or offline, but prepare yourself for both the exams, maybe for online or maybe for the exam, offline exam. Okay. So I think this is the beginning of the March, and you are having just 30 to 45 days in your hand. 30 to 45 days. If you plan right now, I think for each subject, okay, I think you are having 4 to 5 subjects, maximum 5 subjects you are having, and for all that 5 subjects, at least 6 units you are having. So 5 6 are 30. Okay, and you are having 30 days. That means every day you need to study at least 1 unit. Okay, but you are having very strong mindset. Okay, let me remind you that things also. We are engineering, we are supposed to be engineering graduates. Okay, you are budding engineers. And in diploma, I know how you have done that. Everyone is not like that you are only doing that. All other students are also following the same practice. Before one day, just opening the book. Oh, sir, this is the syllabus. Okay, this is the beginning. This is the syllabus. So in morning, you are going to decide. Chalo, let us take some funny part. Okay, for you. Now you are going to plan. Limper sir told us we are having 45 days or 30 days in our hand, and we are having 5 subjects. Each subject at least 6 units. So 5 6 the 30 units we are having. We need to study. We are having 30 days. So every day I need to plan one for. I need to plan for one unit. Correct. So in morning you decide. Chalo, today we will start our study for that one unit. Okay. So in morning with lots of aggression and with good mindset you are going to start. But exactly at 9 or 9:30 o'clock, breakfast comes in front of you, and you enjoyed that breakfast a lot. Okay, you just keep your plan aside of the study, and again after that, again you decide, no, 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 I will start unit number 1 now. Again, obstruction comes, and name of that obstruction is your mobile. Okay, a very good device that you are having. Okay, if it just vibrates, only vibrates. Okay, look at your concentration. Okay, थोड़ा vibrate जरी झाला, yes, you are going to see something is there. Okay, maybe some messages from your friends, maybe you got some call from your family members or the friends, and the disturbance comes. Again, it will take you some time to resolve that all the discussion. Okay, and your discussion is of topmost priority. Okay, you are thinking about the country and all that very big issues you are having for discussion. Correct, Ena, on WhatsApp. Basically, you are discussing the your daily routine issues. Your friends you are communicating with you. But again, that is the disturbance. Mobile. Okay. Yes, I will tell you. Let me finish. Okay. So after studying it for at least another half an hour, maybe you have begun to see the syllabus. First work you need to search for the notebook. Maybe you have if you have prepared it for. Okay, then you are going to see the syllabus. आपली सुरुवातच अशी होती बघा. खूप ठरवतो आपण. ठरवल्यानंतर सुरुवातीला जसं मी सांगितलं की पहाटे उठतो, ठरवतो आपल्याला अभ्यास करायचा आहे. कुणाला हॅबिट असते रात्री जागून अभ्यास करण्याची, जसं असेल तुमचं. ठरवल्यानंतर आपला वेळ कसा जातो? सकाळी तुम्हाला रेडी होण्यासाठी हाफ एन अवर ऍटलिस्ट लागतो. त्यानंतर ठरवल्यानंतर आधी वही शोधावी लागते किंवा पुस्तक शोधावं लागतं. शोधल्यानंतर सिलेबस बघावा लागतो. एक्झामचं वेटेज किती आहे आणि कोणता पेपर आधी आहे हे आधी बघणं गरजेचं असतं. आणि नाश्त्यानंतर तुम्ही सुरुवात करता अभ्यासाला, अर्ध्या एक तासानंतर काहीतरी डिस्टर्बन्स आला, कोणाचा फोन आलाय, मेसेज आलाय, तिथे तुमचा परत डिस्टर्बन्स होतो. परत थोडा वेळ तुम्ही अभ्यास करता, मग लंच टाइम येतो. यू आर गोइंग टू टेक हेवी लंच. मग तुम्ही ठरवता एक झोप घेऊया आपण थोडा वेळ. ठीक आहे, मग खरंच अभ्यासाला सुरुवात करायची आपल्याला. ठीक आहे, दिवसाची सुरुवात तशी होते तुमची. ठरवता तुम्ही की आता नाही, आता अभ्यासच करायचंय मला. ठीक आहे, परत त्यामध्ये काही ना काही व्यत्यय असतो. जसं मी सांगितलं, कोणीतरी काम सांगतं घरातले आपले, काम सांगितलं की सांगतो आपण ना, नाही खूप अभ्यास आहे मला, एक्झाम इज देअर. ठीक आहे, त्यानंतर तुम्ही ठरवता की 4 पर्यंत अभ्यास करायचा. तोपर्यंत 1 युनिट झालेला असतो फक्त, ऍव्हरेज बरं का. 1 युनिटचा एखादा पार्ट तुम्ही कव्हर अप करता. तो जो डेडलाईन दिलेली असते. 4 वाजता टी येतो तुमच्या हातामध्ये. ठीक आहे, हातामध्ये येतो तो पण. आणि टी ब्रेक नंतर तुम्ही ठरवता आता 5-6 थोडस एक फेरफटका मारून येऊया, गप्पा गोष्टी करूया. 7 वाजतात असेच. 7 वाजल्यानंतर परत तुम्ही थोड्या वेळ ठरवता की अभ्यास करायचा आहे. मग 7 वाजता एक फोन असतो मित्राला, अरे दिवसभरात किती अभ्यास झाला तुझा? आय हॅव जस्ट स्टार्टेड बट माझी काही बिगिनिंग झालेली नाहीये. ठीक आहे, at the end at 8 o'clock you will take the dinner, and then you are going to see somewhat movies or picture that you want, and at 11 or 12 you are going to take a rest. Okay, so if you are going to see, this is the circle every student of every branch. I am not taking only yours example. Okay, they are going to face such life. Okay, in pandemic this is worse than there. Okay, pandemic मध्ये तर अजूनच वाट लागली. Some students they have taken the benefit of it. They got the ample opportunity, ample time to study for the competitive exams and for the preparing themselves for the gate examination also. Okay, we are having very good examples in our institute, in our department, in your class, or maybe your seniors who have studied a lot during this pandemic situation. They have taken the benefit of it. So please take the benefit, start studying. If you are not started yet, take it seriously. 30 days, 30 chapters you are having, try to start from this date only. If you are not started yet, okay, prepare accordingly. Chapter number 1, key points of this chapter. Key points are types of the cement, properties of the cement, and the uses of the cement. So types, make the small chart. ठीक आहे, हँडआउट्स ज्याला म्हटलं जातं. आय डोंट नो किती जणांना सवय आहे की हँडआउट्स काढण्याची. हँडआउट्स म्हणजे शॉर्ट नोट्स काढता तुम्ही तुमच्या कंटेंट्सच्या. जो काही कंटेंट असेल त्याच्या शॉर्ट नोट्स एका पेजवरती तुम्ही ड्रॉ काढता. ठीक आहे, गेट दॅट हॅबिट ऑफ डुईंग दॅट. ठीक आहे, जो काही पार्ट तुम्हाला त्या दिवशी शिकवलेला आहे, ठीक आहे, कॉन्क्रीटचा असेल, तुम्ही सॉम मध्ये इन्फ्लुएन्स लाईन डायग्राम शिकलेला आहात, शिअर फोर्स बेंडिंग मुवमेंट शिकताय तुम्ही, मग शिअर फोर्स एक सिंपल बीम घेतलाय, त्याच्यावरती युडीएल अप्लाय केला सपोज, मग युडीएल ला शिअर फोर्स डायग्राम कशी असेल, युडीएल ला बेंडिंग मुवमेंट कुठे असेल, वेअर इज द पॉइंट ऑफ कॉन्ट्राफ्लेक्चर, वेअर इज द पॉइंट ऑफ झिरो शिअर व्हॉट इज बेंडिंग मुवमेंट. ठीक आहे, जिथं शिअर फोर्स झिरो होतो असा कुठला पॉइंट असतो. इफ आय एम गोइंग टू आस्क यू, दो आय एम नॉट गोइंग टू टीच यू बट आय नो दॅट पर्सन, वेअर इज द पॉइंट ऑफ कॉन्ट्राफ्लेक्चर. कसा फाइंड आउट करतात ते, एक्स डिस्टन्स कसं फाइंड आउट करता तुम्ही. ठीक आहे, किंवा तुम्ही फ्लुइड मेकॅनिक्स शिकता, फ्लुइड मेकॅनिक्स मध्ये तुम्ही आयडियल फ्लुइड, नॉन आयडियल फ्लुइड, टाइप्स ऑफ द फ्लुइड, ठीक आहे, एअरफॉइल, जे काही तुम्ही गोष्टी पाहतात, व्हॉट इज अ फ्लुइड ऍट फर्स्ट, व्हॉट इज द मेकॅनिक्स बिहाइंड इट. सो गो विथ व्हेरी बेसिक ऍज फार एज अवर कंटेंट्स आर गिवन. ठीक आहे, किंवा सर्वेइंग मध्ये खूप बेसिक आहे, टू वर्क फ्रॉम होल टू पार्ट, फर्स्ट प्रिन्सिपल, हाऊ टू टेक द स्टेशन maybe at a level at your hand and operate it, maybe total station, how to operate it, what are the concept, how to take the measurements. लेवलिंग येत नाही मुलांना, साईट वरती गेल्यानंतर लेवलिंग काय असतं हेच माहित नसतं, आणि लेवलिंग कशाने घेतात हे पण माहित नसतं. ठीक आहे, कुठले इन्स्ट्रुमेंट आपण यूज करतो. So you should be very serious. Why I'm telling you, why I have taken my lots of, I think more than 15 minutes I have taken for this, because you are in the learning phase now. Okay, you have the ample time with you to study for you or to prepare yourself for the gate examination, for the MPSC, UPSC, any competitive examination. And plus point is what, you have completed your diploma, and I think you know better than me what opportunities you are having in your government sector. There are so many vacancies which are recruited, which have been specially there for the diplomats only, not for the degree level students. Those who have completed diploma, they can apply for it. So you know the importance very well. Try to start the preparing for the upcoming examinations. Prepare your goal at first. Okay, sir, I have the target of gate examination. I have the target of MPSC, UPSC. I want to be a contractor. Contractor साठी काय करावं लागेल? I want to do the job on the construction site, maybe for the execution, maybe I want to go in the field of design of your structural elements. So what practice you need to follow? Which things you require? Sir, I am interested in WRD department, that is maybe related to irrigation work. Okay. I want to do my career in contracts and accounts, maybe estimation you are familiar about. Okay. So you decide yourself, you plan yourself, and you must act accordingly. Okay. Why I have taken? Because I'm not happy that you have forgotten the formula which I told you yesterday. Okay, or maybe the day before yesterday. So you must remember all such things, whatever the key points that we are highlighting, that I'm describing more than 10 times. Okay, so please aware about yourself, your targets, your goals, your strengths, and plan accordingly. ठीक है, चलो. So with that, I will stop that discussion and let us coming back to the our point, that is factors which will affect the aggregate. Okay. See the factors which are affecting the creep or maybe your concrete body. The things that your teachers are going to tell you, that factors also you need to consider. Okay, that will make some impact, and you will get something from that. Hmm? Uh, Again, one more thing I will additionally tell you. Our branch is not like that. Our beginning is very smaller, at a very short span. If you just see the packages of maybe your friends like who are there in your other fields like computer science engineering or electronics engineering or mechanical engineering or other rest of these streams. Okay, what you have observed, getting the good packages, maybe of 3 lakh, 4 lakh per annum and all that. I will tell you, our beginning is very on the smaller scale. Maybe you are getting 10,000, 12,000, 20,000, 30,000 max to max. Okay, as a beginner or as a fresher, you will get that much of salary. Okay, but if you just gain the experience and if you have started your own business, your one apartment, a G+3 or G+5 module, your one apartment will take you in more than 10 lakhs. Why? Contractor's profit, you have learned that subject, estimation and costing. There you are going to add in rate analysis, you are going to add 10% of the contractor's profit. Correct? How much cost you require, you just assess yourself. If you are interested to plan a G+5, on every floor 3 room, on every floor 3 flats. एका फ्लॅटचा एरिया 650 स्क्वेअर फूट घेता तुम्ही. ठीक आहे, 5 मजली इमारत आहे किंवा 3 मजलीच धरा. एका फ्लोरला तुम्ही 3 फ्लॅट काढले. आजचं जर तुम्ही रेट पकडताल, ठीक आहे, जर तुम्ही लोकॅलिटी चांगली असेल तर मिनिमम 15 लाख फॉर वन फ्लॅट यू विल गेट. करेक्ट आहे, मिनिमम 15 आय एम टेलिंग. तुम्ही 9 फ्लॅट जरी म्हटले तरी किती होणार आहेत रे तुमचे? 15 लाख 15 गुणिले 9 लाख करा, 1,35,00,000. ठीक आहे, बरोबर आहे, इफ आय एम नॉट रॉंग. व्हॉट इज द कॉस्ट ऑफ कन्स्ट्रक्शन? जर तुम्ही त्याचा एस्टिमेट तयार करताल, यू विल फाइंड यू रिक्वायर हार्डली, ठीक आहे, यू रिक्वायर हार्डली मॅक्स टू मॅक्स एक्सलंट क्वालिटीचं मटेरियल तुम्ही यूज केलंय. सर आम्ही अल्ट्राटेक ओपीसी 53 ग्रेड आहे, राजस्थानवरनं टाइल्स मागवल्यात, विट्रीफाईड टाइल्स टाकलेले आहेत सर मी. जॅगोरच्या माझ्या सॅनिटरी फिटिंग्स आहेत, हिटाची कंपनीच्या सॅनिटरी फिटिंग्स आहेत. ठीक आहे, माझ्या हॅवल्सच्या मी इलेक्ट्रिक फिटिंग्स बसवलेल्या आहेत. ठीक आहे, 3 कोटेड केबल आहे. ठीक आहे, आर केबल्स, कुठली जे काय ब्रँडेड, एव्हरीथिंग ब्रँडेड मटेरियल यू हॅव यूज. तुम्ही काही पण करा, your cost of construction is not going to exceed more than a crore, more than 75 lakhs. So how much amount you are getting? More than 20-30 lakh in single project, and you can finish that project in 6 months, or you can finish that project in 1 year. चला, 1 वर्ष धरून चला, तुम्ही बिगिनर आहात, तसं 6 ते 8 महिने राहणार आहे, 1 वर्ष धरून चला. See the package, see the difference. This will make a big impact, and for that you have to gain experience and you have to very strong at your basics. This is the magic of our field. Okay, and it is not possible for others, rest of the streams, to get such things. Okay, you can start taking contracts of 2 buildings, 3 buildings. एक simple एक घर जरी घेतलंय, you just imagine 15 लाखाचं घराचं बांधकाम घ्या, 1 BHK. I don't think your cost of construction goes more than 10 to 12 lakh. तुम्हाला जागेवरती 2 ते 3 लाख रुपये भेटतात एका प्रोजेक्ट मध्ये, एका घरामध्ये. ठीक आहे, that is why again I am telling you, our beginning is very short, or it is on the smaller scale. You have to accept it. But if you start proceeding and if you start starting your you are going to recognize yourself as a contractor, you are taking new projects at your own. Okay, you have taken the license from the government, maybe of PWD, ZP, you have taken lots of work. Just see the magic, see the, if you work very rigorously, sincerely, with that much of technically sound mind, if you are dealing with the quality, definitely you will see the amount that is been left behind through the every project. Okay, and that is why आजही सिव्हिल इंजिनिअरिंग सेक्टर किंवा बांधकामासारखं, म्हणजे आपला जो आपली जी स्ट्रीम आहे यासारखा पैसा कुठल्या स्ट्रीम मध्ये नाही. जे तुम्ही नेहमी ऐकत असता की नाही हे पॅकेजेस आहेत, हे आहे, तर सगळ्यात जास्त पैसा हा आपल्या क्षेत्रातच गुंतवला जातो आणि यातूनच मिळतो. After agricultural sector, construction is the second largest sector, which gives us employability, which provides us employability, which provides huge amount of revenue being generated through this part. ठीक आहे. एक सिंपल प्लॅन काढायचा, एक आर्किटेक्ट 3 ते 4 रुपये स्क्वेअर फूट घेतो. ठीक आहे. 3 ते 4 रुपये स्क्वेअर फूट एक सिंपल प्लॅन काढायचा. तुम्हाला जर ऑटोकॅड येतं आणि तुम्ही जर स्वतः प्लॅन काढायला चालू केले 2D आणि 3D, तुम्ही पण 3 ते 4 रुपये घ्या. विथ द डिझाइन टेक्निकल डिटेल्स नंतर शिका. सेकंड इयर पासून तुम्हाला ऑटोकॅड येते, तुम्ही एखादं प्लॅन काढायचं काम घेतलं, 4 रुपये जरी स्क्वेअर फुटाने म्हटलं 600 स्क्वेअर फुटाचं काम असेल, तुम्हाला 2,500 रुपये मिळतात. That 2,500 you can contribute it, maybe in your college fees, maybe you want to buy something. ठीक आहे, काहीतरी घ्यायचंय तुम्हाला स्वतःसाठी for the family, you can take it. See, such hidden opportunities you have to identify. Okay, drawing, then maybe working on the site, gaining the experience, and then stretching that experience furthermore for your development. Okay, so these are there are so many things. I will take it also whenever our discussion goes on such topics. Okay, I hope now you all are aware very well, and you will set the target for yourself and you will complete that successfully. Okay, if you require my help at any point of time, I will be there. Whatever the maximum possible extent, I will give it. Chalo. Aggregate properties we are dealing. As I told you, the higher the modulus of elasticity, the less is the creep. We have to consider the toughness, hardness, the crushing strength of the property of the aggregates. That is the mechanical properties. On the other hand, we also need to consider the specific gravity. If the aggregates are having the low specific gravity, if the aggregates are having, they are going to absorb more than 3% of the, more than 3 to 5% of the water, then it will make an impact in your formation of the creeps. It will make an impact in gaining the strength. Okay, that is why we need to consider the aggregate properties. Okay, lightweight coarse aggregates show substantially higher creep than the normal weight coarse aggregate because these are lighter weight. Load is going to be act continuously, and because of the loading, because of this particular loading, there may be formation of there may be the deformation which can cause the creep. So preferably we are using the normal weight aggregates or the higher weight aggregates. Okay, lightweight aggregates where you can supposed to use for the lightweight structure, where load is not the prime factor for you. Okay, in that case you can use the lightweight coarse aggregate. Otherwise, please use normal weight coarse aggregate. What is the normal weight coarse aggregate? The unit weight of the coarse aggregate will range from 18 to 23 kilonewton per meter cube. Okay, more than 18 or 20, 20 to 23 kilonewton per meter cube. Okay. So aggregates, fine aggregates and coarse aggregates, both we have to consider their physical properties like specific gravity, water absorption, then soundness, then toughness of the coarse aggregate, hardness of the coarse aggregate, crushing strength of the coarse aggregate, then grading of fine as well as fine of the coarse aggregate. All these properties we need to consider because it will play a vital role in the formation of the creep. Okay, in the design we have to consider it. Where to consider it? We have to consider all these properties at the design of our concrete mix. Okay. Next factor which is affecting the creep is nothing but the age at loading. What is the age of the concrete when the load comes on it? So the age at which the concrete member is loaded will have the predominant effect on the magnitude of its creep. Okay. So at what time the load is coming on your concrete structure? For how much duration the load is remain constantly acting on that concrete structure? So that will create a predominant effect on the magnitude of creep. Magnitude म्हणजेच काय, किती प्रमाणामध्ये creep occur होणार आहे. ठीक आहे, त्याचं पर्सेंटेज किंवा त्याचं प्रमाण किती असणार आहे. ठीक आहे, थोड्या प्रमाणात क्रिप ऑकर होत आहे, खूप मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये क्रिप ऑकर होत आहे, कसं ठरवणार आहात? In case of the age of the loading, how much quantity of the load which is acting and for what time it is acting on that particular body. Okay, so the edge at which concrete member is loaded will have the predominant effect on the magnitude of the creep. Okay, for how much quantity or what is will be the quantity of the creep if the load is acting of if the load of 100 kilonewton is acting for 10 years. If 20 ton load is applying on a suppose beam and it will last long up to 30 years. 20 वर्षापासून त्या बीम वरती 100 टनाचा लोड अप्लाय होते, 20 टनाचा लोड अप्लाय होते. मग जो काही लोड अप्लाय होते त्या बीम वरती, त्या स्लॅब वरती किंवा त्या कॉन्क्रीट बॉडी वरती, त्याच्यामुळे किती मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये क्रिप ऑकर होणार किंवा किती कमी प्रमाणामध्ये तो ऑफर होतोय. इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द how much quantity of the load is being applied and for how much duration it is applied on that concrete structure. Okay, age of the loading. Then this one. Okay, come. Why you are late? Today is first day. Okay. So in case again few factors additionally along with the age of the loading, the quantity or the quality of the gel. The quality of the gel. Gel means your cement matrix, cement, water, and your fine aggregates. That matrix, cement matrix. The quality of the gel it improves with the time. Such gel it creeps less. Okay, so if you are having very good cement matrix, you have prepared your concrete very nicely. You have mixed it very nicely. You have configured it very nicely. You have designed it as per the design model or as per the our IS. Then definitely the quality of the gel, maybe cement paste you are using, or maybe cement mortar, or maybe cement coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, that is your concrete. Okay, so if you are having very good gel, that is the cement matrix or concrete matrix, then it will improve that particular strength gaining capacity with respect to the time, and automatically it will reduce the creep. Okay, whereas if you are dealing with the very young, that is your fresh concrete. Okay, if you are applying the load on the fresh concrete, what will happen? The concrete gets compressed, maybe water will just get separate from that concrete. कसं होणार आहे, सपोज कापूस आहे, कापूस पाण्यामध्ये भिजवला आणि त्यानंतर इफ यू जस्ट प्रेस दॅट कॉटन, what will happen? Water will just get out of that particular cotton. Correct? Likewise, if you are taking the fresh concrete and you are applying the load, what will happen? Because of the concrete is in plastic stage, so there may happen that more chances of the creep. Okay, there may happen that there will be more chances of the creep if you are going to apply uneven load and all that. Then moisture content of the coarse aggregates or of the concrete body being the different at the different age, it also influences the magnitude of the creep. Very important sentence. Okay, the moisture content of the concrete is different at different age. Why it is different at different age? Because the temperature conditions in our state or maybe in our country is not remain constant throughout the year, or it is not remain constant over the globe. Correct? In winter, the temperature is just around 20 to maybe 25 degree or less than 20 degrees, 10 degrees, 5 degrees. If you just take the northern part of India, like Delhi and all that, okay, Jammu Kashmir, temperature goes beyond 0 degree. Temperature goes beyond 5 degrees centigrade. In case of winter season, take the example of our Vidarbha region, the temperature goes on more than 40 degrees centigrade. Okay, or maybe in Solapur region, the temperature is more than 40 degrees in summer. In winter, temperature is less than 10 degrees. In rainy season, the temperature is just around 20 to 27 degrees, and there is heavy rainfall. So the temperature conditions, they are not remain constant. The temperature conditions goes on changing, and with respect to that, whatever the moisture which is present in the atmosphere, why I'm dealing with the temperature? Because whatever the moisture which is present in the atmosphere, it will also goes on increasing or decreasing, or it will also goes on changing with respect to the changing conditions, environmental conditions. Summer season, winter season, rainy season. In three different seasons, the moisture content definitely is varying, and it also influences the magnitude of the creep. त्या कॉन्क्रीटमध्ये जे काही क्रिप ऑकर होणार आहे विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू दी टाइम, त्यासाठी मॉइश्चर कंटेंट अल्सो प्लेज अ वायटल. जसं मॉइश्चर कंटेंट बदलत आहे तसं तो जो काय क्रिप ऑकर होणार आहे त्या कॉन्क्रीट बॉडीमध्ये त्याचं सुद्धा मॅग्निट्यूड बदलू शकतं. मॅग्निट्यूड, इंटेन्सिटी किंवा ते किती प्रमाणात होतंय क्रिप, ठीक आहे, किती प्रमाणामध्ये तो होणार आहे, तो कशावरती कुठला फॅक्टर आपण कन्सिडर करतोय, मॉइश्चर कंटेंट अल्सो. कारण मॉइश्चर कंटेंट जर तुमच्या कॉन्क्रीटमध्ये वॉइड्स जास्त असतील, the moisture may be get absorbed by the concrete body. It may again lead to the creep formation. Okay, different seasons, summer, winter, rainy season, 3 different seasons, the moisture content will definitely vary with respect to these 3 seasons, and as the moisture content varies, it also influences the magnitude of the creep. Okay, understood everyone? Moisture content. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Online members Patil Akshata, then Rupesh Badwe. समजताय? रोहन लोहार. ओके. Somebody is कोणीतरी बोललंय? Okay. So the moisture content. After that, yeah, this is the one graph which has been there for the creep. Okay. Strain you can see in the range of 10 raised to minus 6. Okay, and time since application of the load. Next factor, curing condition. See, we are going to cure our concrete structure, correct? After the whatever the curing days, maybe for 7 days, 14 days, 28 days for different structural elements, we are going to cure our concrete structure. How we are going to cure it? By sprinkling the water, by covering with the wet gunny bags, or maybe by membrane curing. We are following different methods of curing, correct? But during this curing, if you are going to if you are not going to cure your structure properly, पाणी मारायची आवश्यकता होती सर, पण मी पाणी खूप कमी मारलं, किंवा पाणी सर भरपूर पाणी आमच्याकडं, मी दिवसातून 5 वेळेस पाणी मारलं, ठीक आहे, जास्त क्वांटिटी मध्ये अवेलेबल. So if you are going to use more water for the curing purpose, or if you are going to use very less water for the curing purpose, again this curing condition also affects the creep. Okay, the magnitude of the creep. That is why it is very important for us to use the curing conditions and to cure the your concrete structure with the water. Okay, with respect to the whatever the, what can I say, whatever the quantity that has been decided. ठीक आहे, नाहीतर मी जसं सांगितलं की सर हिवाळा आहे किंवा heavy rainfall is there and still you are try to sprinkle the water on your concrete structure. आणि जिथे उन्हाळा आहे, जिथे वॉटर इव्हॅपोरेशन जास्त होतं तुमच्या कॉन्क्रीट बॉडी मधलं, ठीक आहे, तिथे तुम्ही एकदा सुद्धा पाणी मारत नाही, त्याला त्या कॉन्क्रीटला ड्राय स्टेट मध्येच ठेवताय. सो इफ यू आर गोइंग टू क्युअर इन सच वे, use of excess water or use of very less water for the curing purpose, that will make an effect on the magnitude of the creep. Whatever the creep which has been induced in your concrete body, that magnitude of the creep is been affected by the curing conditions. Okay, by the curing condition. So that is why we should be on, we should be very careful when we are going to sprinkle the water. Okay, we have to decide how much quantity of water is been required, for how much time I will sprinkle the water on the concrete structure, whether it is remained in the wet condition for 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours. Okay, curing condition. Next factor is cement properties. Okay, so properties of the cements you all are aware about. Fineness of the cement, consistency, setting time, and the strength or the soundness. These properties we have to consider as far as creep is considered. Okay, so the type of cement affects the creep insofar as it influences the strength of the concrete at the time of application of the load. The first point is regarding the type of cement. Second factor, fineness of cement. Then third factor, I think it is not there. Yes. So first type of this cement, whatever the cement that we are using, it may be OPC 53 grade, OPC 43 grade, EPC cement, PSC cement, flash based cement, maybe you are using rapid hardening cement, extra rapid hardening cement. So whichever the type of cement that you are using, whichever the type of cement that you are using, it will affect the magnitude of creep. Because how it is going to affect, I will tell you. Each type of cement is having different rate of heat of hydration, because the contents of the cement, maybe in case of rapid hardening cement, extra rapid hardening cement, you are going to blend rapid hardening cement with calcium chloride, CaCl2. In case of Portland slag cement, you are using slag along with the cement. Okay. So there C3A content is more. In case of normal cement, that is your OPC cement, C2S and C3S contents are different. Okay, because these are the two major bogies compounds which are responsible for gaining the strength. Heat of hydration rate is there. Okay, so type of cement, how it influence the creep, we need to consider because depending upon the type of cement, there is a different heat of hydration process going to occur in each type of cement. The reaction which is going to happen, that is heat of hydration process is there. Okay, is differ with respect to the different contents of that cement. Hmm? Different contents of the cement, like Portland slag cement you are using. So as you are using this slag, maybe there is more percentage of C3A, there will be less heat of hydration. Okay, slag cement if you are using. If you are using PPC cement, there is no need to add any additives, or there is no need to add any admixture, because already it's a pozzolanic Portland cement. You are going to blend it with some of the admixtures. Okay, maybe a mineral admixtures like silica fume, metakaolin, flash, or whatever, whichever is available in the market. So again, their heat of hydration is different. Their water requirement is also different depending upon the type of cement. कुठल्या सिमेंटला थोडंसं जास्त पाणी लागतंय, कुठल्या सिमेंटला थोडंसं कमी पाणी लागतंय, कुठल्या सिमेंटला एक्झॅक्ट क्वांटिटीमध्ये वॉटर लागू शकतं. हाऊ इट डिपेंड्स, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन देअर रिएक्शन, that is heat of hydration reaction which is going to happen in that cement. Okay, so as I told you, depending upon the type of the cement, it will also affect the creep. Okay, it will influence the strength, and ultimately it will affect the creep. As there is impact on the strength, so creep is inversely proportional to strength. So if strength goes on increasing, creep goes on decreasing. Okay, or creep is on the lesser side, not goes on decreasing, but it will be on the lower side. But if strength is very weak, formation of creep will start very early. Will start very early. And on what factor strength is depends? Strength also depends on type of cement. Example, OPC 33, nowadays no one is using OPC 33 grade. It is outdated, I can say. But you can use OPC 43 grade, you can use OPC 53 grade, you can use PPC, you can use any other cement. So different cement will have some different strength properties also. Why we are always preferring to use OPC 53 grade cement? Because OPC 53 grade cement, at the end of 28 days, the strength of that cement mortar is more than 53 MPa. If you are using OPC 43 grade cement, the strength of cement is more than 43. So which one you prefer as far as strength is considered? Definitely we will prefer OPC 53 grade, correct? Because it is having more strength. So if you are using that cement, there will be very less creep. The intensity or the magnitude of creep is very less along as the age of the with respect to the age of concrete. But if you use very low strength cement, like maybe you can take the example of your OPC 33 grade. Nowadays, no one is using or no one is preferring that. So 33 and 53, there is a big gap between the strength. Okay. So as there is a difference in their strength also, there will be difference in the magnitude of the creep also. That is why the creep also depends on the type of cement which you are using. The intensity or the magnitude of creep also somewhat depends on the type of cement that you are using. Second factor as far as cement is considered is its fineness. As I told you, finer the cement, there will be more surface area. Always remember these words. If the cement is more finer, there will be more surface area. And as there will be more surface area, there is a very good bonding between the cement and the rest of your concrete matrix. That is your coarse, fine, and water. Again, I am repeating my sentence. If you are using finer cement or the cement is very fine, that means you are having greater surface area for that cement particles. And if the surface area is more, that means it will provide very good bonding between the cement and other particles. And if there is good bonding, what will happen? It will gain the strength very more rapidly. Okay, it will gain the strength very early and more strength will be there. And if strength goes on increasing, we know the relation. Creep, the intensity or the magnitude of creep should be very less along with the age of the concrete. Okay, it remains very less along with the age of the concrete. Okay, so always remember how the fineness of the cement will affect the creep. You should use the finer cement because it will impart or it will provide you the more surface area, which leads to the proper bonding between the cement and the rest of the particles, and which will improve the strength automatically. Okay, that is why we should use the finer cement as per our design as per our Indian standard, or which has been mentioned in our Indian standard. The fineness that we are going to depend. Fineness of the cement for OPC should not be more than 10%, and for PPC, the fineness of the cement should not be more than 5%. Always remember, in our first practical, that is fineness of cement, I have given you these two, whatever the limits which have been there mentioned as per our Indian standard codes. For OPC, the fineness of cement should not be more than 10%, and for PPC, it should not be more than 5%. How you have to find out the fineness of cement? For that, you have used 90 micron sieve, correct? And you have done the sieve analysis. Have you done this practical? We have done it. Definitely. The first practical that we have taken. Okay. We have determined the fineness of the cement. Okay. Hope you have understood now this. Correct? समजलंय? Two properties. Type of cement आणि fineness. सगळ्यांना? Okay. Online
Yes, sir.
members. Good. From boys. आदित्य पवार. समजलंय का? आदित्य.
सर ओपीसीचा हा फायनान्स सर 5 पेक्षा जास्त असू नये ना.
That limits are there. I think I have given it in the laboratory manual. For OPC and PPC, 5 and 10% are the results or the fineness
5
of the
पेक्षा
cement.
जास्त असू नये सर आणि बाकीचे
Okay, you just check in that lab manual. Maybe I have tell my university I have taken it. Okay, you just check it. But that limits are there. Sharda Dubal, roll number 4. समजलंय का?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then Namdev Chauhan, roll number 24. समजलंय?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Everyone is alert. Very good. ठीक है. चलो, we will discuss the next factor. Temperature. Okay. There is additional point which has been there in the previous slide. That is the rate of the creep increases with the temperature up to 70 degrees. But this case is not happened as far as our country, or maybe I don't know where the temperature goes on more than 70 degrees. Okay, but such condition is not there. Okay, if such conditions are there, the creep rate of creep goes on very rapidly. Okay, we don't have such conditions right now, where temperature is more than 70 degrees daily temperature. Next factor, temperature. Okay, how it affects the creep. As far as low temperature is concerned, freezing produces a higher initial rate of creep, but it quickly drops to the zero. While if the temperature is in between, it is not 300. I think it's maybe it's a typing mistake. Okay, if it is in between 10 to 30 degrees centigrade, creep is about one half of the creep at 21 degrees centigrade. Okay, it is not 100. I have to correct it. This is 10 degree centigrade sign is there. That degree sign is a little bit wrong in this presentation. Okay, it is not 100 to 300 degrees centigrade. It's 10 to 30 degree. And if the temperature is in between 10 to 30 degrees centigrade, the creep is about one half of the creep at 21 degrees centigrade. Okay. Oh, so we have to consider the temperature. As I told you, different temperature conditions we are having as far as our state is considered, or our country is considered. Summer season, winter season, rainy season, three different seasons, three different temperatures. And what magic is that in summer season you are going to find rain is there. Okay, last time we have seen everyone. In winter season, maybe in the month of October or November, okay, before one day of Diwali, there is heavy rainfall in some of the regions of Maharashtra. In December also there is heavy rainfall in some of the regions of Maharashtra. Okay, whether rainfall is there in month of December, probably not. But as I told you, due to this global warming and there is change in the temperatures and all that, such things are going to happen nowadays. If you just, I don't know whether you are listening the news regularly or not. Yesterday only there is one news, more than 3 billion, 300 billion people will affect. Okay, they will be affected due to the change in temperature conditions. Okay, it is just yesterday's news only. Okay, because global warming, because of rise in the temperature, all things are going to get vanished. Okay, and more than 300 billion people will get, or 3 billion people will get affected because of this. न्यूज वाच कधीतरी ऐकत चला, ऐकत नसाल तर कालचीच न्यूज आहे. Lex factor which affects the creep is nothing but the stress level. Okay, what is stress? I think now everyone can tell me the answer. What is stress? Stress is nothing but the load acting on a given area. ठीक आहे. स्ट्रेस लक्षात ठेवायचा खूप सोपा आहे. बिल्डिंगला पण स्ट्रेस येतो, and we are the human beings. We are also suffering the stress. Na? Correct? Are you suffered through the stress? At what time? During the exam? No. I don't think during the exam you are facing some stress. Okay. There is no load which is acting on you. Maybe other reasons are there. Okay. But you all are tough enough. Okay. I don't know. If it is acting during the exam, it's a good sign. You are taking the pressure of the exam. But don't take it the burden. Okay. Take it in a positive way and just crack it. So stress, the load which is acting on you with respect to the area. Okay. So stress level, it is directly proportional between the creep and the applied stress. Okay. There is a direct proportion between the creep and the applied stress. If load goes on increasing, if load goes on increasing, it will increase the creep. It will increase the magnitude of the creep. If the load gets removed, if the load gets removed, definitely magnitude of creep also goes on reducing. It is same as like our human beings. एक्झाम आहे, खूप टेन्शन येतं. ठीक आहे, 10 दिवस सर, 10 दिवस आहेत माझ्याकडे आता, किंवा उद्या पेपर आहे आणि आज मला बघायचं आहे, सिलेबस बघायचा आहे मला. ठीक आहे, सो इंटेन्सिटी ऑफ स्ट्रेस इज डिफरंट. करेक्ट आहे. लोड इज ऍक्टिंग, व्हेरी मच लोड इज ऍक्टिंग ऑन यू. ठीक आहे, ठरवलेलं असतं, 6 महिन्यापासून ठरवते पण काहीच होत नाही, शेवटच्या दिवशीच बघतो आपण. ठीक आहे, मग त्यावेळेस स्ट्रेस काय असतो? स्ट्रेस लेवल इट इज ऑन द हायर साइड बिकॉज लोड इज ऍक्टिंग ऑन. once the paper gets resolved, once the paper gets completed, ठीक आहे, and you have done very successfully, खूप छान पेपर गेलाय तुम्हाला, शेवटचा पेपर संपला, what is your feeling? You are feeling stressless. Correct आहे. Previously stress is acting on you, the stress in terms of your paper, okay, your preparation about the exams. But once the exams get over, you feel stressless. Correct आहे. In the same manner our building structures are there. If the load goes on, if the load acting on it goes on increasing, it will help to increase the magnitude of creep. Continuously the load act होत असेल तर. But once you remove the load, if the load is get removed, or it is, if the load quantity of the load gets reduced, then on the same platform the magnitude of the creep also goes on reducing. That is why these are direct, there is a direct proportion between the creep and the applied stress. Okay, बघा, हे शब्द जसे कॉन्क्रीटशी रिलेटेड आहे, त्या बॉडीशी रिलेटेड आहे, तेच आपल्या लाईफशी सुद्धा कशा पद्धतीने रिलेट झाले. स्ट्रेस लेवल खूप लोक ऐकतात अँड different people have different strategies to manage this stress. Maybe someone is choose to listen the song, somebody is doing their work of interest to release the stress. Correct? So everyone is having their own strategy. As far as building is considered, we have to remove the load. We don't have any strategy. Okay, we have to reduce the intensity of the stress which is active. So there is no lower limits of proportionality because concrete undergoes creep even at every low stress. Always remember. Concrete undergoes creep even at very low stress. Just intensity of this stress is very low because low stress is there. So intensity or magnitude of creep also goes. It should be on the lower side also. Okay. How much lower? We don't have any limit of proportionality for that. Okay. So higher the stress, higher will be the creep. Very much similar. Okay. Higher the stress, higher will be the creep. More will be the deformation. Creep analysis, I think there is one chart, yes. Creep is nothing but the deformation. What is deformation is nothing but strain, one kind of strain. Correct? So with respect to time, how it goes on. Okay. Then drying creep and basic creep and shrinkage and nominal strain is there. Okay. So you just understand the phenomenon. Creep goes on increasing with respect to the load. Creep will remain constant. It is on the lower side, though you are applying very low load. Okay, there is very low stress on the body. Okay, creep analysis. These equations are not there for you, so I will not take that part. I think this is all about the creep. Yes, effects of creep on the concrete structure. काय काय होऊ शकतं? Yes, you can see. Beam, there is a bending. ही कुठली movement आहे? Sagging आहे का hogging आहे? How can you decide?
पॉझिटिव्ह आहे ना सर सॅगिंग.
हा?
सॅगिंग.
सॅगिंग आहे.
हा सर.
तुम्हाला काय वाटतंय? हॉगिंग.
सर नेगेटिव्ह काले हे असेल तर सर हॉगिंग सर आणि अपवर्ड हे.
What is the criteria to decide whether it is sagging movement or hogging movement?
हे हॉगिंग आहे तर हे नाही तर काले हे केलं की हे हॉगिंग हे दाखवतो.
So the picture which I have shown you, whether it is sagging or hogging?
हॉगिंग
Only
सर.
he. But ठीक है, prepare for this. Tomorrow you tell me what is the answer for this. Okay, it's a very simply supported beam resting. Okay, and there is a point load which is acting exactly at the center. Okay, what is bending moment here? What is bending moment? Bending moment at this particular point. Can you calculate if the point load is acting? What is the formula that you are going to use? If point load is acting, what is the formula to calculate the bending moment? Fast. W square by? By? 12.
4 सर.
ठीक आहे. You need good practice of it. ठीक आहे. लक्षात ठेवा. चांगली प्रॅक्टिस करा मग आन्सर द्या. ठीक आहे. मग तो पॉइंट लोड असताना WL/4 कुठे आहे? रिएक्शन कुठे असते? WL/4 रिएक्शन कुठे आहे? WL/2 कुठे आहे? WL²/4 कुठे आहे? WL²/8 कुठे आहे? ठीक आहे. इफ यू रिमेंबर दॅट बेंडिंग मूवमेंट डायग्राम. ठीक आहे. Point of counterflexure. Okay, I will not go into that. So in reinforced concrete beam, listen. In reinforced concrete beam, the creep increases the deflection with the time and may be critical consideration in the design. Okay, that is why whatever the load which is acting, it is very important for us to have the analysis of this. Okay, whether we are having deflection is there of that particular beam or not. This is one effect. Second, I will show you. Yes. See the column now. In eccentrically loaded column, the creep increases the deflection and can load to the buckling. See, this is the one part. This is first which you have prepared your concrete, and after application of the load, see the buckling is there. Correct? आता मी पुढचा प्रश्न नाही विचारणार. There are 4 conditions. Correct? One end is free, one end is fixed. Both ends are free, both ends are fixed. आणि इथे लोडिंग कंडिशन्स असतात. सांगता येईल फॉर्म्युला लोडिंग कंडिशन्सचा? PL by 2, PL by 4, PL by 8 किंवा काय जो फॉर्म्युला असेल. Can you tell me? झाले का नाही? No, I think this is the beginning ना. I don't think this part is there right now for you. Okay. झाल्यानंतर सांगा मला. ठीक आहे. ठीक आहे. I know the answer. ठीक आहे. If it is not known to you, that means it is not happened. Chalo. Okay, so effect of creep on the concrete structure. So in eccentrically loaded concrete columns, the creep increases the deflection and can load to the buckling. Okay, this is for the column. Previous is for the beam. Okay, let us move ahead. Yes, you can see this. Due to the load, the structure deforms. Due to the load, the structure deforms. This is a pre-stressed concrete member. Huh? It may be the beam. Okay, it's a pre-stressed concrete member. The load they have acted on the center of this particular beam and see the deformation how it is happened. बघा कसं झालं तो बीम कसं झालं. It's a pre-stressed concrete member. Pre-stressed म्हणजे आधी तो concrete structure कुठेतरी precast करून that particular structure you are just going to put it here. Okay, so just see the deflection or see the due to the application of the load what happens. Okay. This is your UDL or UVL? UDL. It is uniformly distributed. Okay, chalo. So creep property of the concrete will be useful in all the concrete structures to reduce the internal stresses due to non-uniform loading or restrained shrinkage. Okay. If you just see the diagram, you will come to know there is a distributed load, correct? But it is uniform or it is non-uniform? It is varying, na? Okay, okay. So though it may be a uniformly varying load or it is uniformly distributed load. Okay. Because of the loading conditions, the stress is been the creep has been induced in your concrete structure, and you need to consider about it. Okay. It may lead to happening of the creep and shrinkage. Okay, shrinkage is the next part that we are going to study. Okay, see this concrete dam. See this concrete dam. In mass concrete structures such as dam, on the account of differential temperature conditions at interior and exterior surface, the creep is harmful and by itself it may cause cracking in the interior of the dam. See, this is the crack which has been developed in the concrete body, and through this crack, the water flows out. Why it has happened? Because within this concrete body, the internal temperature is different, and on this concrete surface, the temperature condition is different. Correct, na? What is the room temperature here? If you just take the example. Now everyone is sitting at your home, correct? What is the room temperature at your home, in your room? It is just around 20 to 27 degrees centigrade. But if you just go outside, temperature goes on increasing. May be different. It may goes on decreasing or it may goes on increasing. So we are having, if you just see the exterior wall, okay, the exterior portion of the wall, temperature direct, it is exposed to sunlight. But if you see the inner portion, interior wall, it is not exposed to sunlight. So at the interior portion, you are having the different temperature. At the exterior portion, you are having the different temperature. And due to this differential temperature conditions, there is a chance of formation of the cracks in the concrete body. Due to the creep, there is a chance of formation of the crack, and which will leads to the converting that minute cracks into the major cracks in case of your massive structures like dam. ठीक आहे. आपल्याकडे डॅम मध्ये साईड ड्रेन्स पण असतात. ठीक आहे. And I am having very, what can I say, a funny experience with myself. ठीक आहे. Somebody told me, I have shown this diagram to them, and they told me that, sir, this is the drain, and through that drain, that water is just percolating. Okay, it is not the drain, it's a big crack which was there on the exterior wall of the dam. Okay, so you need to understand which one is the crack and which one is the provision made for that particular concrete dam. Okay, so see, creep, very dangerous. Okay, if you are not going to keep it in the permissible limits, there is no control of yours on the magnitude of creep. Huh? Everyone understand. you don't have any control on the magnitude of the creep. Sorry, uh, on the happening of the creep in the concrete body, but you can control its magnitude. Okay, you can control the magnitude of the creep, the effect of the creep. If you're maintaining the good quality of your construction, if you are following all the legal practice, following with preparing the design as per the design calculations as per the Indian standard specifications, then you can have this durable and having the strength. The structure is having some durability as well as the strength. Creep is on the lower extent. But if you do some faulty practice, there is a chance of early creep, early formation of the creep, that is early deformation of your structure. And early deformation of the structure may lead to the crack formation. Okay, this is the best example you can see. Okay, now next part is nothing but the shrinkage. Okay, uh, oh, we have finished up with our time. It's more than 2:50. Okay, I just forget to stop my session. So only one half. See, I can finish this unit today only, but I haven't finished. We have just finished one part, that is script. So in our upcoming session, we will finish the second part of this particular chapter, that is shrinkage, and we will start our unit number 6, that is durability of the concrete structure. Okay. So it's 2:50 in the clock. I will take your attendance for this particular time. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. You can put your questions in the chat box. Those who are present here, you just make a sign. CTMP. तुमच्या रोल नंबरच्या पुढे साइन करा. Keep silence. It is going on still. So I have noted your attendance. Any questions regarding today's session? Any question regarding today's session? सर्वांना समजला आजचा पार्ट?
Yes, sir.
I will tell you. ओके, आजचा पाठ समजलाय सर्वांना? काही प्रश्न असतील तर विचारा, अदरवाइज वी विल स्टॉप हियर. काही प्रश्न आहेत तुमचे? स्टीम क्युरिंग. ओके, एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस बॉयज? Tell you. Chalo, so if no more questions from your end, I will stop here at this particular moment. Thank you everyone for attending the session. Have a great day. Goodbye. Take care.